Hey, we're back to moving the containers. I was looking at my squaring technique. I had laid a string around 30 foot by 30 foot area. Decided that wasn't the best way to square these containers up. It was just like too much measuring in between movements. So this container here, it's not gonna move. So I'm trying to square that container against this container. Okay, so I moved the string to the outer corners and marked it with a Sharpie where I'm tying it. The marking is so when I go over to the other side, I can use the same string. If you follow this string, it's clipping the inner corner on this container. And then because of that, it's bringing the string out about an inch from that inner corner on this container, and this is the outer corner of this other container. I think this whole container needs to move forward a little bit, but basically this corner needs to move forward a little more than that corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'd originally planned to move it sideways, pull it out that way, but I'm gonna change that and I'll put just one rollable log on this side, and then I'll pull it on this end. I'm gonna pull it a little bit on an angle like this because I know the space between this and that container is bigger than those back to. I measured it with a tape measure before, so I'm gonna try to kill two birds with one stone. I don't think I'm gonna get it right the first time, but hopefully I'll get it a little bit closer. Two potential issues today. One is the ground is wet. Any place where there's just dirt is gonna, if I try to like pull on there, it's probably gonna slip. The other issue is my truck is kind of out of commission. The serpentine belt is about to snap. It started chirping like crazy. I try to push the truck, I guess, beyond what it should be pushed for a over 200,000 mile truck, and as I was getting home, it started making these crazy chirping noises, and I looked it up online. They said look at the belt. I looked at the belt, and like half of the serpentine belt is gone. So I ordered some belts, the main belt and the AC belt. I'm gonna switch those out, but they're not here yet, so I can't do it right now. I'll take more videos of that when they come in and when I actually change it. So the only thing I really have to pull this thing with is my tractor, and I'm hoping the tractor is gonna have enough power to pull it. So looking at this, I think I'm beginning to understand why the scissor jack that I was using, even though the calculations seemed to work out, it started failing. Basically, when I lift on one corner, like when you do it on a car, you're lifting like 25% of the weight, probably more than 25%. So let's say like 30, 35. But when you have a container, I think this beam here is like so stiff that even when you try to jack it up on one corner, it's basically lifting a lot of the weight on this side too. So basically it's a 5,000 pound container divided by 2,500 pounds, and scissor jack is rated at 1,800, so I'm guessing that's what happened. So as you saw, the tractor's not able to pull it. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna put both of the rolling logs so that the container will be able to be pulled forward with the rollers both going in the back. I probably said that much more complicated than I needed to, but you know what I mean. And I'll try pulling it that way because it seems like minimal amount of work to give that a try. So I guess friction is a real thing. I think actually I might have pulled it a little too much. Maybe not. Let's go take a look at the string. Yeah, too much. There's the string. I'm not sure how accurate I can get this using the tractor because it's got kind of a jerky motion, especially when I'm using the tow rope, because it's got the tension and then it tries to fight the tension. This time I gotta push it back a little, so instead of pulling, I'm gonna try to push against that corner. I'm gonna say it needs to go back about an inch. So I try to be really precise in this with these very imprecise instruments. If you see smoke in the video, that's because there's a fire going over there. It's not coming from the tractor or the house. Yeah, the brakes don't work super well on this thing, so it's a little sketchy when I'm like trying to park on a hill and turn off the engine. So I checked the string in the back, and I still gotta push forward maybe like half an inch, so we'll do that and go from there. All right, so I pulled it too much. I'm still not very good with the tractor, so sometimes I gotta think about, oh, how do I stop this thing as fast as I can? And it's not always the brake, because sometimes the brake doesn't work very well. It's usually a combination of the putting it in, hitting the clutch and the brake at the same time. Now I'm gonna push it, and pushing it, I feel like I have a lot more control on the movements. So we'll keep pushing it like little by little, push it, measure it, push it, measure it, and so forth until I get it exactly where I want it. All right, so that was a great success. I think initially when I pulled it with the tractor, it should have been more like a ½ inch, 1 inch pull. I mean, you know how they say to measure twice, cut once? I didn't do that. So I ended up having to push it back much more than I needed to. But I'm actually quite happy the way this turned out. So let me just show you in the back here. This was the string, but I pulled on it too hard and it broke. But basically, if I pull on it tight here, it's pretty damn parallel. Then if I look from this side, they're not level, so I can see this one is the one further away is angled that way, and this one's angled this way. But once I level that, that should fix itself. So I got a bunch of blocks. I got 10. I'm gonna put at least one on each corner, so that's gonna be 8. And then I'm thinking a few of the corners are gonna need extra shims, and I'm gonna use wood boards to do that. I'll keep taking videos so you can see the progress. Okay, so lifting these things are super easy now with the floor jack. So I'm thinking I should be able to get these leveled today if I just kept them working. But I actually need to get some real work done. And then tomorrow I have a appointment with the occupational therapy for my hand. I'm feeling restless because I'm too happy. So what am I gonna do? I think I am going to clean up, do some work, like regular work that makes me money, and see how much time I have left in the day. I might come back to this in the evening, or otherwise it'll have to wait till tomorrow. And I also have to go to my appointment's gonna be in the same town as where the DMV is, and I need to get a few things done there too. So tomorrow might be not a full irregular work day. I'm hoping to get these things leveled by sometime tomorrow, but we'll see. Gonna try not to rush through this because it always ends badly when I rush through things. You may be asking, why am I going through so much trouble to square these up? I plan to live here, or at least own this for the rest of my life. I envision over time the containers are gonna morph into something that doesn't resemble what they do now. I'm gonna put a roof in between the two, and most likely I'm gonna build on top of it, so it's gonna be like 2 stories. I mean, I've thought about container home, maybe. I'm not gonna get to this for another many years. Get to like actually renovating these containers, because I got so much to do on the cabin. That's a higher priority. I have a lot of time to think about it. In the near term, I do plan to build the inside of this container so that I can set up my power tools and miter saw and table saw and stuff like that, so I can be super efficient when I'm working on things. Okay, so I'm here starting to level the containers, and it seems like it's gonna require, so what usually happens is when you put these like heavy structures on blocks or boards, they tend to sink over time, and then you call it settling. If it settles and maybe one corner settles differently than a different corner, then it becomes lopsided over time. So you gotta fix it from time to time. You can do that by putting in more boards, or you can put more gravel underneath the boards, stuff like that. Anyways, I also Why did I go into that tangent? I can't remember.